Hola Chica, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. So today, the title gives it away. We're going to talk about Instagram, and not just anything about Instagram, but specifically how you can monetize and grow your Instagram even in 2020 and on to actually see success and to then convert into clients. So if that's something that you want to see, free, easy, doable tools that you can use today, just keep watching. Okay, so I understand that Instagram is a very saturated platform. I know that it's kind of gotten a lot of bad rep. But at the end of the day, you can still show up and have a unique voice and perspective that no one else has. So a lot of times with Instagram, we look at our follower count and we think, okay, if we just have more followers, then we can convert to sales and actually see organic growth. But that's not the case. Even if you have a few thousand followers, you can still begin to convert your audience members into actual paying clients. So what does this little funnel effect look like? Well, the first step would be to actually drive traffic to a post or video, whatever you're sharing on your Instagram feed platform. And once you're driving that traffic, you then convert to an actual engager, someone who interacts with that content. And maybe even right after it goes into the next level of the funnel, which is they follow you. They say, hey, I like what you shared. It brought me value. I want to stay and learn more. And then after they follow you, then the next level of the funnel, down to the very end almost, is they will send you a message, or if they do not, you can DM them. And if this is someone who is in your audience, target audience, and someone who you could then convert to actually helping with your services or products, you will want to engage with their content and show them support and appreciation. This is building rapport and genuine, authentic engagement to their content. So when they get on their Instagram and they see, wow, this girl is really interacting with my stuff, and she's not just leaving spammy, so cute comments, she's actually reading or watching what I'm sharing and engaging and providing authentic feedback. People remember that. You know why? Because a lot of people are not doing this on Instagram. They want the quick fix. They want to just spam pages with likes and comments that are not engaging and not even relevant to the post or the poster. So when you receive a DM from someone that could be someone in your target audience or a customer, you want to make sure you are responsive and engaging with them back, asking them questions, getting to know them. And if that person that follows you, that you know is someone in your target market, you then can DM them instead, even if they do not reach out to you first. But before you ever send a DM, make sure you are engaging with them and learning more about their pain points and who they are specifically. So developing a fan base and an influence is the number one tip I could give you for monetizing your Instagram and actually having some headway and actually having a reason for brands to pay you or for someone in your audience to follow you. Brands want to see that you have a authentic reach and that your reach is influential. So when you are consistently sharing valuable content that answers pain points and speaks to actual problems in your target demographic, you are developing an influence in a positive way with that audience. You have become a thought leader and someone that they know, like, and trust, which we never buy from anyone that we do not know, like, and trust. So developing that rapport is essential. So the first tip is having a fan base and influence. And the way you do that is very authentically showing up in DMs and engaging authentically and intentionally with their content. This kind of leads very seamlessly into my next tip, which is utilizing the power of hashtags. So there are so many different hashtag tools that you can use and actually pay for. One of them that's actually very, very influential and very useful is called hashtag for likes. But at the end of the day, I understand we cannot all afford to pay for these type of tools. And I also think personally that as time goes on, I don't know that this tool will be totally relevant. Again, this is my personal opinion, but in my belief, it is a far more worth your money long-term to invest in SEO help, to invest in a personal coach, to just walk you through with your mindset and giving you strategies from their expertise. But you do not have to use tools like this, though I do recommend it because if you want to, you can, but you can actually personally search in hashtags on Instagram. And how can you do that? I'm gonna tell you. So basically, first we're going to consider the Explore page. So the Explore page of Instagram is where you can search and actually meet and encounter new people that you would want to follow or that you have interest in. So when you go to the Explore page, you will see an option at the top that has accounts, names, tags, these different options. If you go to tags, you will be able to actually search a specific hashtag niche. So let's say you blog about travel. You are a female travel blogger. Type in travel in the search bar or female travel, and you will see actual hashtags that people are using in that niche. And what's really cool about Instagram is that totally for free, you can see related hashtags. And typically these related hashtags are hashtags that have a smaller audience, so less people have used them, so it's not as saturated. If you use tons of overly saturated hashtags like love, travel, peace, entrepreneurship, or entrepreneurs, as someone who's trying to grow their Instagram, who is more of a micro influencer, you want to actually target hashtags also that are a little bit more niche down, that have maybe, 100,000 people using it or 200. I wouldn't stray into the, millions, because like I said, that is a lot of people using that hashtag. Now, that doesn't go to say that you should not use any hashtags that are larger, like travel, but you want to mold and mix up your hashtags into different categories. So for me personally, I use the notes section on my iPhone and I categorize my hashtags. So typically I share content about female entrepreneurship, tips for a female entrepreneur, and I have different hashtags that I use in those posts. I also share videos that talk about a really fun product. Maybe it's a self-care product that you can use as a female entrepreneur. So those hashtags will look a little different. They're more relevant to self-care and taking care of yourself, loving yourself. And then another category that I use is actually marketing tips, video tips, and a lot of social media tips. So within those categories, I have different hashtags that relate to those specific topics. So whenever I go and plan out my Instagram content for the week or the next 2 weeks, I'm thinking about what posts I will be sharing and which hashtag groups mesh well with those posts. So I easily can pull from my notes on my phone and utilize those hashtags. Now, let's say I post a few posts on Instagram on Monday, then on Wednesday, then on Friday, and each of those days, it's kind of a topic relevant to social media. I will not want to use the exact same hashtags every single time I share about social media. So that's why I'm often searching on Google, looking on Instagram, and discovering new and trending hashtags that I can use in that topic. So yes, this is going to take you more time than just purchasing a tool like hashtag for likes. But I really think being an expert, being a coach, and being well-rounded in your skills, it's really, really beneficial to do the work yourself ahead of time. And in my opinion, that makes you more unstoppable and an even better influencer and coach and teacher. So the third tip I'm going to give you is to be an engaged user and follower and leader. So every time someone comes and comments on your post, unless it's an obvious spam comment, you are going to leave a thoughtful response. So let's say you get 30 comments. You will go through and actually respond back to each of those comments. So what I like to do is when I share a post, I will basically leave the app open, and as soon as I get those initial comments, I will go in and respond quickly. So that is showing my engagers that I care that they're showing up, that I care what they have to say, and that I value their interaction. So even if you think, okay, maybe you get 200 comments on a post and you are not able to go and respond to all 200 right away, do what you can, show up for the first 20 minutes that your post is live, and then go back and designate a day and an amount of time in a day to go back and respond to your comments. There's been several times where I remember, okay, these last few posts, I need to go back and make sure that I've actually responded to everyone that's legitimate. So I will spend a certain day of the week actually doing that. A lot of times I do that on Mondays. Why? Because that coincides with other activities that I'm also doing on Monday relevant to my business. So having a plan and being responsive and intentional with those who show up is only going to make them more comfortable to show up in the future. And we are word of mouth relational people, especially as women. We love to, chat it up and to share fun things we learned and amazing accounts that we find on Instagram. So when we are showing up as a leader and as a creator of content and a creator of a brand, you need to be that leader and go the extra mile to show up for your audience. At the end of the day, even women that I know and who inspire me regularly, who are now speaking on stages, who are doing all the things, even those women are showing up and being responsive on Instagram. Why? They understand the value in engaging back and being grateful for their audience. Now, maybe at this point they have an opportunity to hire someone to filter their comments and to maybe make the process a little quicker and easier. But the reason why they are doing that is because they understand the value in it, and they started this habit at the very beginning when they were the ones going in and manually doing this. So I recommend being responsive and engaging back with your audience. So your fourth tip is going to be consistency. Be regular. Even if there's a time of your life where you're like, you know what, a lot's going on, I need to take 2 weeks off from social media and especially Instagram. Tell your audience. Use that as an opportunity to educate them on why you are taking a break. So many of us fall into a hole of feeling overwhelmed if we do not show up every single day. I do not think you have to show up every single day to see success on Instagram. I think you should show up consistently and be transparent with your current circumstances, but that it does not require 7-day a week, 365 days a year of posting content. You should be transparent, like I said, and share where you're at, your circumstances, and what you're currently working on to explain why maybe you are not showing up as often, or get a consistent schedule and you say, okay, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I'm going to share Instagram content actually on my feed. And you dedicate, you know exactly what type of content because you've got a plan. So you have literally written out, or maybe you've used a tool like Planoly, which is a great tool, to figure out what your post will look like on your feed, and making sure that you have your caption already ready to go and set to whatever time is optimal. So having a plan at the end of the day is key for every area of your online business, but especially when it comes to social media, because we can so easily get just overwhelmed. And then when we get overwhelmed, we do not want to show up. And when we don't show up, we cannot regularly engage with those who want us to show up and who value what we have to offer. So being consistent with when you do show up, or transparently telling your audience why you need a break, is totally valid and will give you consistent growth on Instagram. And to tag along with that really quickly, with a customer, with someone you are trying to convert into a customer on Instagram, they're not going to want to purchase from you if they see lack in consistency or lack of trust, or irregular sharing. They want to know that you're going to show up for them as well. So demonstrating that regularly on Instagram is a great mechanism to drive them into potentially purchasing your services or products. So tip number 5 is diversify your content. The root of Instagram was definitely photo. It was sharing images. And now there are a lot of people, 500 billion to be exact, and growing, of people using Instagram. Business owners, creators, entrepreneurs, some people just for their personal enjoyment. So there is a lot of people on the platform. So when you are creating diverse content and trying things out, it's only going to help your reach. For example, audio is a really fast growing type of content. People love podcasts. So considering that, even if you do not have a podcast, why not record audio? You could literally go to the voice memo on your phone, record your teaching, record your inspiration, whatever's related to your industry, and then you can save it in your phone, and you can use this tool to actually convert it into a video format. So I've done this personally on my Instagram. So I've made a highlight now that basically says Instagram podcast or IG podcast. So that way, if someone wants to listen to my content, all they have to do is click that and go to the highlight and listen if they are busy or if they cannot watch a video. I do think that video is growing even more on Instagram. A lot of people are using it. Video is a lot more likely to actually be reshared. I've seen that personally from my actual content and experience. People love video. They love watching it. They love resharing it. I think that's a reason why TikTok has been so powerful. And if you want to know more about TikTok, subtle plug, go to this video. I share a lot about the algorithm and how you can use it to grow really quickly. But anyways, video is important. So diversifying your content, using photo, using video, having engaging captions is going to only drive more growth and traffic to your actual account. So I have a 6th bonus tip for you because I'm so excited you've stuck around for the tip. And that is to connect with other content creators. And you might be thinking, well, obviously, why would I not? I mean, intentionally reach out and offer opportunities to connect with them. Offer to appear on their podcast if they have one. Offer to guest write for them. Offer to do an interview for them or of them. offer these growth-worthy opportunities that allow both you and the other creator to grow. A great example of that for me is recently I shared on Instagram in my stories, basically saying anybody who needs a guest on their podcast or, live webinars or Facebook groups, DM me, comment in this question box. I would love to work with you and to help you. And I had a girl reach out, and she's a travel blogger, and we set up a time and did a live chat about online course creating on Instagram. And guess what? That woman I connected with more even after the chat. We DM'd, and she DM'd me asking me about coaching and what opportunities there were for that. And guess what? Now she's invested in my coaching program, and we are working together. So you never know what the connections could bring. It could bring greater monetization to your business, which in other words is monetizing your Instagram, and it's only going to bring more trust and more social proof of who you are and the services you provide. Okay, so I hope these 6 tips were really helpful for you. At the end of the day, Instagram has a lot of opportunity. I think Instagram is a really, really cool platform. I know that it's kind of gotten a lot of bad rep, a lot of, bad mouthing lately just because of the frustration with growth and how much harder it is. And yes, it is harder than it used to be. I will not deny that. But there is still opportunity to grow and to make connections within DMs by just being a genuine and consistent and engaging person. So remember, even a little bit of growth, a little bit of successes is a huge win. So speaking of win, if you feel like you won out by watching this video, please give it a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe to see more videos like this and reshare it with somebody that you think really could use the encouragement with Instagram right now. So I love you and thank you so much for stopping by. Besos.